Hello. Miles here. Just for a quick one. I saw on Twitter this morning, I woke up and saw an interesting tweet regarding the state of Friday Night Funkin' at the moment and the future of the game. And I just thought I'd have a read through it and show you guys and make some comments. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And make sure to like and subscribe for more Fnf content on the channel. Alright, let's get into it. So this is what the tweet itself read. This is from KadeDev, by the way, KadeDev. So for those of you that have played Friday Night Funkin' or any mod, literally any mod, you'll know that Kade is one of the biggest developers of FNF engines. The Kade engine is arguably the most polished and used engine in Friday Night Funkin'. So this is coming from the KadeDev. So he says, thoughts on the state of FNF as a game right now? Multiple engines, thousands of mods, some updates. What are your thoughts? What do you think will happen? I'm curious. Obviously that itself is just a statement asking, sort of trying to get people's answers, but it was what he followed it up with that was interesting. So my thoughts is it sucks how I don't care for main updates. Sure, I want a new update, but mods already give me content, and now that's boring. So this was the main thing I wanted to talk about is, has the influx of mods and so many mods that we've played over the last few months just completely dulled our expectations down for the vanilla game and the main updates. So it seems like to me the hype for the whole main updates is just completely almost vanished. When you have content coming out so frequently and new content by different people and the quality getting better and better each time, it just sort of means we've experienced so many different things that unless they do something completely left field, I don't think anything in the main updates is going to blow us away. Like, for example, let's say week 8 comes out and it's versus Hank or whatever, like week 8. That's not going to blow people's minds because we've already had Hank in so many different mods. We've had him appear in Tricky, we've had him in his own mod recently, and I just don't know what they could do to get the hype back, because when people have seen so much stuff, if they did their own rendition of Tricky, that's exactly what it is. It's their own rendition of Tricky. People have already had Tricky for months and months and months, so we don't necessarily want that again or need that again. So I completely agree with what KadeDev's saying here. Like, you are going to have to explode the community's minds in order to, like, solve the dying vanilla game, really. Obviously, I'm not saying the devs aren't putting in work at all. I'm sure they're working really hard on it now. But yeah, just what I saw here, it's been 162 days since week 7. That is crazy. That's a very long time. And when your game has so many mods out there and different creators doing it, they're carrying the weight of the game on their shoulders, really. And the game has... I forget about the vanilla game sometimes and forget there even is a vanilla game. Just because all we've been playing for the last months has been mods, and mods come out so quickly. You can, as soon as you get one, as soon as you're done with one, you're bored with it, you can just move on to another one. Whereas with the weeks, if they trickle them out so slowly, I feel like the hype is just going to completely die down and people are going to forget. This guy here, the Innuendo, says, I still think the devs took the money and ran. No update in 5 months, and the community is carrying the entire franchise as a whole, to a point where we basically make this game, and it looks slim for FNF, the full-ass game's future. Yeah, so this is what I was just touching on. When the community and modders are carrying the game, it's sort of like when your update is, oh yeah, we're still working on it, and blah, 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 yeah, it's coming. People just forget about it. You either need to give teasers for content, when we've pledged so much money, and also, a lot of people care about this game. If we're not getting updates, there's nothing to talk about, which means it just dies down and people forget about it. There needs to be constant updates with information on dates of when stuff is happening, how far through development you are, because otherwise it's not looking good. Like, people start losing faith in the game. They think it's never going to come out, and I don't want Friday Night Funkin' to become one of those games where it sort of just never happens. I think KadeDev responds here by saying, I don't think they ran, which I agree, but I wouldn't believe thinking that. So again, I don't think they have ran with the money, but they might as well have if they haven't given any updates or told us anything. This person here, Pip or Dodgy Dog, has said that Ninja Muffin should stop letting the community carry his game, and I do agree with this so much, because it's really, really hard. Because I'm sure they're working very hard to develop the game, and they've got loads of people on the team like doing it. Because why would they have made the pledge and the Kickstarter and stuff if they weren't going to do it? I have faith in him and his team, and I'm willing to wait, but at some point you have to draw the line and question what exactly is going on. Exactly. So if you're not going to let the community know what's going on, how do you expect them to be excited for it, to keep making content regarding Friday Night Funkin'? Because that's it. Right now, the content is mods, and if we run out of mods or major mods, and, you know, or people just get bored of it, they're just going to start leaving the community or turning to other things, the games where the devs actually, you know, let them know what's going on. So again, I don't think they've given up. I don't think, you know, it's not going to happen, but it would be so much nicer if they could just update us frequently. It would be so, so good. And this by BB Panzu right here. This is probably the most accurate one I've seen, actually. It's exactly how I feel about the community. So the community will subside eventually. It won't be an active community 24/7, but probably oh, hey, new week. Every plays and everyone in plays enjoys and then goes back to their business, or hey, full game out and the fandom resurges in 2023. That's it. I feel like right now the state of the game is just in this sort of limbo where unless we get all of the weeks sort of at once, or, you know, week after week release, I think the game's probably going to die out until a massive resurgence. So, because if they just released 1 week in, let's say, 2-3 months, and then we have to wait another 6 months for another week, it's not going to work, because people are just going to be coming back and forth, and there's going to be no real, like, talking about the game. It'll disappear into oblivion. So by the time the later weeks come, people don't care anymore. And then either that, or we have nothing for now, or just rely on mods for literally 2 years. And then in 2023, they just go, oh, boom, here's all of it. And everyone's like, wait, what, this game from early 2021, late 2020, what? Really? That game? I'm not playing that anymore. So I'm just scared that the community isn't going to be there by the time the content does release. So I think what this thread has shown best is more that the community right now just feels really disappointed and are like demotivated, because we've been doing the same thing for a number of months now, and I think it doesn't look like we're going to be doing anything different for the next few months. I think it's just going to carry on as it is, and people don't want that. People want, you know, new updates, or at least information, because this is it here. Fnf versus Johnny Bravo, like, said it right here. You've got to give something for people to go on or look forward to. It's hard to be hyped by the official game when there's nothing known about it. Being more involved in the community or being a part of it comes with shit that also causes burnout or disdain. That's literally it. So there is no end goal for us. There isn't. We're just waiting. We're sort of just in this perpetual state of, do we know when it's going to come out? Is it going to come out? Let me just, okay, I want to play some FNF. What's going on? Oh, this mod looks kind of cool. The big mods that are doing their updates frequently, that feels like the vanilla game at the moment, because the vanilla game just doesn't exist. And sort of a last point I just like to, you know, reiterate here is Tom Recti Hart Jr. has said here, FNF ran for so long because no other big community beloved games were there to compete for most of 2021. Now Delta Rune Chapter 2's here, and it's 50-50 at the moment, and it'll be a break for the FNF community or overtake it. Week 8 is going to have to go really hard to boost it back. Yeah, well, it's not just Delta Rune Chapter 2, like, sort of, I mean, you could say it's not comparable, but like Dark Deception, people were really hyped for the game probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and they've sort of spent, because of obviously COVID, they've spent the whole time developing the game, and I don't now know if there's the same hype for it. So many of these sort of indie games, or like games that were indie and are now like AAA titles, well, not AAA, it's sort of like AA or single A, but like all these games are suddenly coming back and stuff, and I feel the FNF community is just going to start getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until when it does even release, the community's not there to receive it well. I don't know. It's not looking very hopeful. Now, the only thing that counteracts this is sort of what Chemo says here. This game will not die anytime soon. It's open source content, and the content will never end. It's open source, sorry. The content will never end. I agree to an extent. I think open source content does naturally last longer. Like Left 4 Dead 2 and stuff. You have so many maps and so many like fan-made content that you could play it infinitely. You just can do that. But Kade responds here by saying, death for open source things happens slowly, but it happens. It'll get merged into another project. I completely agree. Like, it might not happen overnight, but I think the hype will slowly die down. People will start leaving the FNF community, and that's the last thing I want, because the community has been so good. obviously he's had hiccups with certain mods, you know, all the drama with Witty and Sky and stuff. But overall, my experience of streaming on Twitch has been that the FNF community has been really, really good. Like, some of the greatest people I've met and some of the funnest gameplay. So the only thing that is giving me hope is the fact that these big mod developers are still going and giving updates to their mods, and it's carrying the whole game. If they ever stop, I think that's when it will probably die. You know, because the big mods are really carrying people. Sort of like, you know, the imposter update, tricky phases 3 and 4. What else is getting an update recently? Sonic.exe. There's so many good quality mods recently that are getting updates or have just had updates, and they've been exceptional. They're just really, really high quality good stuff. So I'd hate to see for them to stop, because then I think that would be the death of the game. Well, just to conclude, I'll read this point by Jellyfish. He says, I have the feeling that the fate of the game will be determined by the next update, if I'm being honest. I don't want to disrespect the devs, I love the hell out of all of them. But with the community super excited, all the amazing mods, 6 months of waiting, and 2 million plus getting raised on Kickstarter, everyone's expectations are extremely high. And I think that's it. I think there's a mix between people not having much hope because it's been so long we've heard nothing, and then people saying for that reason, because we haven't heard anything, it must be really good, and they're going to go crazy. Which, if expectations are not met, that's going to be dangerous, because there's going to be a lot of, you know, negative backlash, and if it's not well received, I think it could be the death of the game, because they might just sack off all the rest of the weeks, all the rest of the mods, and say, right, you know what, we tried our best, you didn't like the update, sorry. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on this matter? You know, are you excited for the next update? Do you think we're going to hear anything soon? When do you think it's going to come out? And also, what do you think about the future of the community? Do you think it's going to die out slowly? It's going to, you know, fizzle out really quickly? Or do you reckon it's just going to keep going forever because the community is pretty strong? And as I said, remember to subscribe and follow me on Twitch so you can keep up with all the FNF content and stuff we're playing. Alright, anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. I've been Mars, and you guys have been amazing. Alright, peace!